Oh, Hilton stay, your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. Enjoy comfortable rooms and friendly service when you stay with Hilton instead. Save up to 25% this season when you book with Hilton. Hilton for the stay. Terms apply.
Don't chew on that, Max.
Cooper loves that shoe too.
Oh, now he's into Cooper's food. Wow, he is loving it. What do you feed Cooper?
Blue Buffalo Life Protection Formula. He never leaves a crumb. I love it because it's made with high-quality protein, nutrient-rich fruits and veggies, and wholesome whole grains.
Looks like we're switching to Blue.
Blue Buffalo foods are made with the superior ingredients your dog needs to thrive. Can your dog food say that? Visit feedbluefood.com to learn more.
In 1936, you know Germany?
Yes.
Remember the war?
Yes.
Yeah. So Treaty of Versailles, all of that, right?
Yes, yeah.
All the way back.
Don't have time to get into it.
Yeah.
But let's say by this stage in 1936,
It was in the news.
the Rhineland's already been remilitarized. The Treaty of Versailles has been broken. The Sachsen, do you know how to pronounce that? The first concentration camp?
Sachsenhausen.
Sachsenhausen?
There you go.
Okay.
I think so.
That had opened over the next 9 years. 30,000 prisoners there would die. But at this time, Germany are coming to Daly Mount Park, Dublin, October 17th to play an Irish team that hadn't won an international game for over 2 years.
Just after the Olympics, right? I think the Olympics was September?
This is, and Ireland had decided not to go.
I think it's just us and Russia are in the
Boycott. I didn't realise we boycotted that.
We boycotted it.
Dave
Wow.
wanted to big way.
Him and De Valera said no, thank you.
Why?
But the real reason is that we weren't allowed to bring athletes from the north.
Ah,
And
okay.
I think it's very rich. I've made this point before, but 1936, Adolf Hitler didn't recognize Ireland's claims to Ulster.
Right,
So you could
okay.
only have athletes from the south.
Well, he didn't want to do anything to annoy, the Brits, his great friends at that
His good
time.
friend, I think, but it's just, and Russia didn't want to go because they hated the Germans.
Yeah,
at the
I
time.
can understand.
Yeah.
They would. They didn't want to go, but we obviously would have had a fairly different outlook from them at the time.
For sure. It was
Came to the same
genuinely,
conclusion.
that we had, because Dave had just written Bunnock na Heron, and he was like, well, fuck Team GB, we need the lads from the north.
Was that his first Olympics?
That would have
Valera's?
been...
So because we were in the Olympics in 24, 28, 32.
Yes.
because we had gold medals there because we had that guy,
That's
the
a-
shot putter.
Yeah,
Eustace-
Doctor something.
Callahan, yeah.
He there's a hammer thrower guy. I think we're like still the top of the hammer throwing medal chart. 'cause of this
Unbelievable.
one guy.
Yeah, it was like a Shea Given, Packy Bonner situation where there was like one guy who was an Olympic champion and he just had a friend then who was younger than him who passed on the mantle.
Yeah.
Well, what...
That and the Eurovision, we were big back in the 20s.
We had a great run. What was the first medal Ireland ever won in the Olympics?
Was it the painting one by
It was,
the Yates?
Yeah.
The
The Yates brother.
That's good.
Jack B.
But obviously the Fianna Gaelers or the whatever Cumberland Gaelers didn't have a problem with the restrictions on the
I guess
to.
I suppose Devon only laid claim to the north maybe in 37. So it was his first proper.
Yeah.
But it is funny. Because at this point I think maybe they'd made claims on Austria, like Germany taking over Austria, and he was still like, well, you got to respect the Northern Irish border. You got to respect partition.
Yeah.
But that's the reason we didn't go. But in retrospect, we can say we knew it wasn't right.
Yeah.
We knew it wasn't okay.
Well, wasn't the 34 World Cup, didn't Austria play as part of Germany?
That's 38.
That's 38,
Yeah.
okay, so that's just after then.
And that wasn't okay.
No,
We stayed away.
That wasn't a good thing.
Yeah.
It was a great time for sport mixing with fascism. Because they had the 34
As opposed to
now where everything's clean cut.
They
They do go together.
Yeah. If you
Cookies and cream.
cast your mind back to a time when FIFA was used to whitewash regimes. But
Yeah, well, I suppose it's because if you think about it like that, when they did Qatar and Russia, and everyone, the world
And
was
America.
like, oh yeah,
America.
these are the next list. This is what's going to happen. And back then it was 34 Italy, 36 Germany.
Yeah.
It was meant to be Tokyo, I think, for 1940. I'm totally sure about that. But
it's a fine list. Who's coming up in the next couple of years after America? Is it Saudi? And then what's next?
No, the next one is kind of they involved as many federations as possible, so
that's
that
right,
they could give it
yeah.
to Saudi for 2034.
Yeah.
So it's like kicking off in Argentina, Uruguay. Is it just Argentina and Uruguay, or are they getting three countries?
Is it Paraguay as well, or
Might be
there's
Paraguay.
3 in South America, and then it moves.
They're doing
to-
Spain, Portugal, Morocco.
So most of it is in Spain, Portugal, Morocco. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, it's obviously it's like 100 plus games now, so it's
Yeah.
just I kind of have to get loads of countries involved, unless one of the countries is Saudi Arabia, in which case they can.
That's
do it.
true. That's it. Feels
And
like
we'll only
it's-
just miss out by a point. We'll be right there. They'll bring it up to 96 team World Cup. Unlucky 97. They've asked to be team 97.
Yeah. Did we ask to go in after the Thierry Henry thing?
Yeah.
To just put us, please.
33.
Well, they've done it before.
Why are they so corrupt except when it comes to us? What's
Well,
wrong with us?
We don't have enough pull, I suppose. They have done.
But we should do because of the amount of Americans that we have. And
Yeah.
they like, I assume the Irish Americans like soccer.
No.
Nah.
I don't think so. I think I've never noticed them. I mean, obviously we've got a couple of. What was the name of the guy? O'Toole.
Kevin O'Toole.
O'Toole. So
Joe Lapira.
maybe we should keep him around. Things
Yeah.
seem to all click once Kevin O'Toole
That was
came
the
in.
pull to get us in.
Well, I mean, you can't knock his contribution.
Yeah. Or who was the goalkeeper? Is it O'Meara? The guy who got called up like 10 years ago. And
honestly
then
can't
the
remember.
New York Red Bulls wouldn't allow him to travel.
Really?
And then he just never got a game for Ireland. Yeah.
I assume there's a lot of Americans who are big into football, the same way that there's Irish people who are big into the NFL, but they're just sort of disregarded by society, at large.
Yeah, no, I think it's huge. Like, there's loads of Americans who are into football. I'd say it's easily as big a football country in terms of the market as like, Germany or the UK or, I mean, there's millions of
There's so many of
people,
them, yeah.
but it's not a big overall proportion of Americans, I don't think, but it's still, in absolute terms, a pretty big number.
Yeah, when they do I've been to a good chunk of those Premier League fan events that they do around the States, and that's like, they'll be in some beer garden, 3,000 people. They're there to watch like 2 or 3 games back to back.
Yeah.
And it's like, it could be like 3,000 to 5,000 people. You're like, no one here is ever in a bar watching this game.
Yeah,
Or else
yeah.
if they do, I mean, I'd go to the Arsenal supporters fan club in Austin, and they'd meet up at 7 a.m. and just like they would tailgate before the bar was open. Just in the car park, just to get drunk, because you're going to be drinking in the pub.
But
it's expensive.
It's like 5, 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's
you all
a
meet
great
up at
excuse to go drinking
It
really
does look
early.
very dodgy.
Yeah.
Like if anyone drives by and there's just like 40 men of varying ages sculling cans of Bud Light and covertly trying to smoke joints around the corner. Right
Covertly. Is there any need? Oh, is it still illegal? And it's illegal in Austin, apart from one very famous resident of that town.
Yeah, well, actually, during the pandemic, after they made abortion illegal again, they like a week or 2 later were like, you can have weed,
Okay. Yeah.
but only in Austin, because everywhere else in the state is actually okay with that last decision.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is, it's bizarre.
it's bizarre. It's a great old state. I have nothing bad to say about it. I hope to get a visa to go back eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this game was 44 years before Bob Marley. Don't have Bose making commemorative jerseys about this one, though.
No.
But Scotland had just beaten Germany 2-0 in what I assume was a smash and grab victory, daylight robbery, because it kind of takes the gloss off of what's about to happen here.
Yeah.
Although Germany, I guess, at that time had been pretty bad at football.
They were
great.
busy.
Yeah. Well, they did a lot of other, but they didn't have a professional league.
Till the 60s. I think.
Yeah, so they just kept it was like 16 different regional leagues and no Jewish clubs or players.
Really?
They got rid of those in 32 or 33.
Because I think Bayern have kind of quite a big sort of Jewish element.
And they had to just get rid of all of those
they're
players
German,
which is why you could just see from the early 30s, late 20s, early 30s, the performances just start slumping.
Yeah.
Because they just don't have a lot of their best players.
Yeah.
I think they used to be kind of into like mass calisthenics and this type of thing.
Okay.
That sort of like go out by a lakeside and everybody's doing these kind of aerobics.
Stretching it, yeah.
More like kind of what you see in China now or something like that. Everyone doing Tai Chi in the park.
Yeah.
That seemed to be more the kind of German.
They had a lot of wild ideas in the 30s. They were trying a lot of new things.
What's wild about fitness? What's wild about
Mass fitness.
Yeah. For certain people.
yeah?
What? Yeah.
Yeah, well, he didn't like soccer. He was he didn't view it as.
What was his sport?
It's a waste of time. I mean,
Yeah, so because you're looking for machismo sports, things to prove strength.
What's more
and fight.
machismo than soccer?
boxing,
Well, yeah,
for example.
almost
Yeah.
every other sport. But
Sure.
Yeah.
for the most part. That's said as a soccer fan. But the 1934 they'd gotten third place in the World Cup. Germany had.
Okay.
So they were still good then, but they granted in the 30s they were pretty bad in general. So they'd hosted the Olympics in 36. Olympic quarter final, they lost to Norway 2-0 in the Olympic Stadium in Berlin.
Which is the only game that Hitler is known to have attended, I think.
Yeah, and not only just that was his first ever football game. He'd never been to a match before.
First and last.
Yeah, first and last.
He wasn't a
stormed
fan
out.
then.
He wasn't happy. Yeah, he was meant to go to the rowing instead. Because he was like, we're going to probably win that, and it's a show of strength, and that's what we should be known as the Aryan race. And instead, they went and lost 2-0 to the Norwegians.
Yeah, okay.
So he
took over Norway.
He storms out. Also, in the crowd as well, you've got a young Rudolf Hess, you've got Goebbels, you've got Göring, and Hitler. Just
A who's who.
Well, it's like, you know, the main man is there, so obviously all the little locals are going to be there.
They have to go. Or they could be football fans.
Well, it's like you get a UFC fight now, Trump is there.
And Trump,
So Musk is there, and the Newcastle chairman is there. Cyril Ramayan is, you know.
But why wasn't
You're there
Catherine
to be
Connolly
seen.
there when Ireland beat Portugal?
Well, I know, and she wasn't there when she was there for the rugby, though.
Oh, shit.
She went to the rugby. One of the rugby games. I mean,
The
there's
South
actually
Africa
a few.
one?
Yeah, I'm not sure which one, but she definitely went to one, and she didn't go to the football. I was wondering if she might be at like the Roma Napoli game last night to try and compensate, but there was no sign of her.
Yeah.
So
someone messed up there. That was.
But sure, maybe she's keeping a low profile. I don't know.
She should have been the halftime entertainment. They should have had her on the field. Just get the kids back away. You're not today, lads. We'll get you next time.
But Dev got in big trouble for going to watch football. Yeah.
did he?
Yeah, because it was, I can't remember the date range. Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought he was a rugby guy.
He was a big rugby guy. I think he
like
was.
rugby and hurling.
Yeah.
The two ways that the Irish spirit expresses itself.
Yeah, but he
added the hurling because people were annoyed.
Yeah, he's totally a rugby guy.
It was just rugby. He nearly played for Ireland. He was in a representative 11 for like Munster versus some other team, and the scouts were down, and he fumbled the ball as he was about to catch it, like that Shane Horgan try against England. He was doing that, and then he just knocked the ball on, and then didn't get the call.
Yeah, he probably couldn't wear his glasses on the field or whatever.
I think he did. I think back then you were just it's a gentlemanly game. Everyone said, "Don't touch the man's hair or glasses."
You can run full force into a man's throat, but don't hit his glasses. No. But he went to see. I can't remember what match he went to see, and then the newspapers were apoplectic that he'd break the ban and go watch something in Croke Park. But maybe he probably went to see this Germany game.
Actually, he greeted the team at the airport when they arrived.
Nice.
He went out to the airport along with the Lord Mayor of Dublin.
Yes.
Was it Alfie Byrne, who I'd never heard of before.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff named after
It sounds like the name of a pub.
Did it Alfie Byrne?
I mean,
there
is he?
Yeah, the Alfie Byrne pub is
That
named
is a
by
pub.
the National Concert Hall, isn't it?
I don't know.
There's a few things named after him. The Alfie Byrne Road.
Right, okay. Fair play.
We had a lot of mayors.
He was the shaken hand of Dublin.
Yeah.
Because he was mayor 10 times. He was in the Shannon 6 times. He was a TD a bunch of times. What I found weird was that he was called the shaken hand because he was constantly cycling around shaking people's hand because he's always canvassing.
Yeah.
10 years in a row as mayor. One of the ways he'd canvass is he was given children sweets, which I think is specifically you're not allowed to do that now.
No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore.
People said he would just have, like the Pied Piper, he would just have a giant collection of kids following him through the streets of Dublin.
Kids can't vote.
Kids can't vote.
No.
Yet. But he's playing the long game.
Yeah, that's
how you get in 10 years' time.
Yeah, I remember that man gave me a Mars bar 10 years ago. Get him in.
But in the lead up to the game in 1936, Ireland had won its first game. Again, we had 2 wins in 5 years coming up to this point. But I suppose at the time, international football is like you get 2 games a year.
You didn't play that many games.
No, you play 2 or 3. But then when you look back at the results, they're pretty good because it's like, fair enough. You might lose to like the might of Norway or Luxembourg or someone, but then we beat Spain once every 2 years.
Yeah.
Or like Belgium or Germany. It's kind of the same as what it is now. It's like you look back through the history of Irish football and it's hey, there's one. We'll dine off this for a good decade.
Yeah.
It's like back-to-back wins against Spain in 38.
Yeah.
I'm still not over it.
38 we were playing Spain. That's kind of amazing, isn't it?
It was, I think it was 38 or 40 around
which
then.
half of Spain were we playing?
Well, now We might as well could jump into that now, I guess.
Fascism and football do go hand in hand.
Yeah,
at the time.
with one hand raised fairly high.
Yeah. Franco, he stayed out of the war, but
yeah, well, because at the game now, I don't want to say that. I don't think any of the Irish officials would have done the salute, and I don't think any of the Irish players did the salute. But a couple of hundred people in the Daily Mount were there in support of. I suppose like this is about 3 or 4 weeks before Ono Duffy sends a couple of hundred men over to Franco.
Yeah,
so you're right at that time.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of support for the Germans and the salute.
Support.
Yeah,
and the Germans were like, this is like the way of the future. You know, as far as people were concerned, this is what we should be doing.
Yeah.
Democracy is weak.
Well, all of the reporting of it now looks back and says, and obviously no one at the time knew what was going to come down the way. But it's, I mean,
people had it. Yeah,
fair idea.
There was a sense of, you know,
the full stuff of the Holocaust didn't come out, but like, as you say, they'd already taken a lot of land, and like,
there was this feeling that Versailles thing wasn't going to last too much longer.
Yeah.
Although that was, I suppose, this game is just like 2 weeks after the Munich conference, so maybe there was probably at that time an element of. Hang on, we're talking 38. No, it's 36. Okay, so it's it's even 38. Now the Munich was still a twinkle in.
Because I will let the cat out of the bag. We go over there for a return fixture in 39, and all of the players do this. Everyone does it. The captain Jimmy Dunn, because he was a former, I remember, he was interned as well. But he, as they did it, he was like, "Remember Auckland, remember 1916," but still had the hand up. It was.
But these were our gallant allies, you know.
We had a complicated relationship with Germany at the time.
Yeah. Well, England did it before us. I think they did it that might have been in Germany. It might have even been in Wembley. But their entire team during the national.
Was it at White Hart Lane? Maybe England definitely did it. I'm not sure if it was home or away. I wonder was there a difference in protocol?
The Jewish fans complained. They all they got in touch with their local representatives and said, "How about we don't have the Germans in the Jewish club stadium?"
Yeah.
And they were like, let's do it anyway. And we'll have everyone do the salute.
Well, was it World War One or two? It's probably one where the monarchy, they changed their name.
It was World War One, yeah. It sounded too German.
It was too German. So they're like, what? They just named it after Windsor, which is already a castle. Yeah. They're like changing your name to like Emerald Park now.
Yeah.
It was just blatant propaganda.
Well, didn't they change St. Petersburg as well to Petrograd?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because Petersburg sounded too German. So people were doing a lot of that at the.
They changed.
We changed the name of our country this year to ERA. This was the 14-year period where the FAI had just come into existence.
Oh, yeah.
And then they'd stopped calling it the Irish Free State.
Yes.
And even though we became a republic, very soon after, they were like, let's keep it ERA for about 14 years.
Well, we're just going back to the next fixture again, Czechia. Yeah. They're still trying that out.
Yeah.
I've met a good few people from Czech since. None of them overly happy about it.
Really?
Yeah.
They're like...
I had a beautiful interaction where I was talking to a woman from Czech and you
just say a woman from Czech.
Yeah, a woman from Czech. I used to refer to it as Yugoslavia, so I'm not updating my map. But I was like, I said Czechia maybe, and then she said, or she referred to it as the Czech Republic. Yeah. And then some other guy from a different country came in and was like, actually, it's Czechia. I was like, don't crack to her about the name of her own country.
Yeah.
I think but it would be like if Ireland changed its name to ERA now. Like it makes sense, but I think people wouldn't be on
the
board
name
with
ERA
it.
only really seemed to stick with like English football men.
Yeah.
Who would describe Ireland consistently as ERA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody else would. Although nobody else apart from, I think, officially the government. Like it was on the coins and stuff like this.
Sure.
Kind of like what is they say the name of the country is Ireland, but then ERA is written on all the coins. And
we're mischievous. We're ducking and dodging, you know? Yeah. What's her name? What's her colour? No one knows. ERA, I don't know. It just makes me think of Michael D. Higgins saying a poem. It's nice, but it's not the day-to-day name.
It makes me think of black and white football highlights where Ireland have usually lost.
And a plucky display from ERA. 2-0 against the fascists of Italy.
Although this season we were doing pretty well because we'd beaten Switzerland. We'd got a 5-1 win against Luxembourg, a 3-3 draw with Hungary. This is the best we'd done for about 20 years.
3-3.
3-3. 3 goals.
All countries that are under threat of World War II.
Well, the one game we did lose was to the Rhineland 11. We lost to the Rhineland 4-1.
The demilitarized Rhineland.
They had just been I guess at this stage,
reabsorbed.
I'm fairly sure it's all German players that they've taken it over now, and all of a sudden the Rhineland 11, it's what's called an unofficial friendly, which I'm okay with, because that means that year we won 3 games, drew 1.
That doesn't,
only loss.
That's not the rankings,
Doesn't matter. That place doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, Rhineland were at home, in that, which is fair enough. It's tough to go over there.
They've got ultras.
Yeah, impenetrable fortress of the Rhineland. So yeah, Germany land over. 28,000 people show up to Dalymount.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how that exists unless Dalymount's tiny.
Yeah, but they used to be able to stand and crowd in together and
even
stand on the roof.
Still, health and safety is gone.
Even still, it's like I've seen the videos and photos of the Maracana or whatever. It's like, I understand, like 200,000 people in that space. That makes sense. But Dalymount is even.
It's the classic lie though about 1,000 people go to see U2 and the Landline Market or whatever. Everyone just wants to claim they were there to see Nazi Germany that day.
But so that they do the salute. Again, not all Irish. Not all the Irish.
Yeah,
a lot of them do.
So hang on, you mean of the players or just of the crowd?
Oh, just of the crowd. So the players, they refuse to. I've got a video of it here.
Ireland defeat Germany.
Ireland defeat Germany. Dalymount Park, Dublin. Go get them, boys.
The Germans.
You get 28,000 people crammed in like that. Couple of hands now.
Oh, yeah.
Dignitaries, one of them had said it was a magnificent gesture of real sportsmanship for the Irish crowd to sit there in solidarity with them.
It's nice to sit in the solidarity of the underdog of 1938 Nazi Germany.
Well, there was so much of their thing was kind of also anti-British Empire messaging, that obviously most people here would have agreed with all that.
Yeah. The enemy of my enemy.
There's an
awful. The Nazi.
We've done a whole series about Dev this year, which is why we keep mentioning him. But there's a lot of Sean Russell and a lot of IRA men.
Statue's still there.
Statue's still there. Yeah, listen, there's no proof. Just because a man dies in a Nazi submarine does not make him a Nazi. All right, show me the evidence.
They were going that way anyway.
Yeah, they were dropping him home. Yeah. There's an awful lot of connections between, and a lot of it is the enemy of my enemy and stuff. And anyway, we're not always on the right side of history.
No.
Well,
sometimes we're just there.
Was it just after the war? Germany come back. I think it's their first away game post-war that they come to Dalymount again.
Yeah.
So we have this weird connection with them. It's the last game, the one where we do the salute, where we lose 3-1. We draw 1-1 with them over there in 39. That's the last game before the war.
Yeah.
And then we're their first away game after the war, which is why a lot of people think that the Germany away jersey, the green is because of Ireland, which is not true at all.
Yeah.
But it's I found that out, and then also found out it was a lie, all in the same.
Yeah.
Was it the colour of the Rhineland or something? It was picked by Adenauer, I think, because he was from there.
But we have a load of links to same for Boca Juniors, that they think, because there was a Tipperary man who went down there and was manager. But then someone was like, no, we were sat at the port and we said the next boat that comes in, it'll be the colours of that boat, and it was a Swedish boat.
Luckily, it was blue. No,
yeah. What was that man's name? It was
Patrick O'Connell.
Patrick O'Connell. Yeah.
It was the same.
Oh no, sorry. There's it's different than the Barcelona guy. I think it's Patrick O'Donnell or Patrick O'Donnell. The Barcelona man is heavily linked to a lot of match fixing for Man United back in the day.
The 1914 era stuff.
Yeah, it was like you needed money, and someone was like, "Lose the game. You're not a millionaire."
Yeah,
and this is just to show that you're a man. Yeah. A man brings home money by throwing football games.
Well, they weren't allowing them to make proper money, So the players had to take,
That is an interesting.
It was a Robin Hood type of situation by the players,
That's an interesting argument for players that they should be paid astronomical amounts of money, because otherwise they'd just be cheating.
Should be paid. Should be paid what they're worth,
Yeah.
These were the days when, men would form unions and object to being mistreated by the moneyed class, and I suppose they hit back in the only way they could, by throwing games.
weren't most of the teams just union teams anyway?
Yeah.
They were all just like, here's the Dockers union.
It's a beautiful expression of the proletariat, just fixing games.
But the match kicks off. Ireland go 1-up, concede a goal 1 minute later in a very Irish fashion. Then go to 2-1 up at 35 minutes. 2-1 down, 2-2, second half, 3 goals by very Irish sounded men that people said on the BBC broadcast. They got every single name wrong.
Of course.
Yeah, because it was Donnelly, Gahan for Gagan.
Right. That's a tough one to be fair.
Yeah, and then again, Donnelly.
We've gotten every single name wrong of anyone outside of this country.
How do you get Donnelly out of Donnelly, to be fair?
They've never met an Irishman. They don't deal with the help.
Yeah.
I think there's a man called Donnelly down working on my kitchen.
Yeah.
He stole one of my taps.
The country's spelled to Ireland, but they keep saying Éire, so they don't really understand what's going on.
Yeah. I think they're just trying to be polite, actually, when they say it. It's funny. It's like they're trying to be correct.
Yeah.
And somehow it's not.
But yeah,
right, apart from if you look at a coin.
It just proves that they've never met an Irish person. But but the reason this story came back into prominence recently was because this is the match day program.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice design.
A beautiful bit of artwork.
I saw a lot of men in Celtic jerseys online commenting underneath articles like this saying, "It's a great flag."
Yeah.
I like that flag. And I couldn't tell which one they meant.
Which one they were.
Yeah. Well, now this clearly looks like a man that's like a GAA. It's a very GAA pose, but the whole thing is just very like, I don't know how to draw football men.
No.
I'll do. I know GAA.
I'll make this one half the size and twice the width of the other man.
But yeah, fair play to him.
But yeah, that went up on sale there in 2014. It was appraised at between 400 and 600 quid. €900.
For what?
For the program.
Just for the program.
A program?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's buying that?
Collectors. I mean, that's...
Yeah, but collectors of what? Football ephemera? Or
all collectors.
Exactly.
Would you have any of the Ally memorabilia? No.
I wouldn't be interested in that.
I wouldn't interest me at all, man.
All collectors are infatuated with useless trash.
Yeah.
See what it is.
Sure, but some collectors are infatuated with useless trash with swastikas on it.
But we beat Switzerland that year, and the program for that game only went for like 200 quid.
Yeah, well, it's a very similar flag.
It's a better program.
Yeah.
But yes, we won 5-2, and then a couple of years of up and down results before we don't play football for quite a while because of the war.
Yeah.
And we've pretty much not been good since. But that's the Irish Times report of the day said, in my close on 40 years of experience of association football, I have not seen any Irish team play with great verve, dash and persistency than were now displayed by our players.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
It's a great day at Irish.
Still a bit negative as well. Like, insulting the previous 40 years. Like, you can say they played well without saying they've never played well before.
Yeah.
You say that, but also I've been shouted down a lot in the past couple of weeks because I've been trying to give Robbie Brady and James McLean their flowers because everyone's like, this is the first time I've had a good result since Shane Long beat Germany in a game that turns out didn't really matter or whatever. It's like, we've had so many good moments that people just whitewash because...
They do get forgotten.
Yeah, like the Brady one was a great moment. I was happy for Wes Hoolahan. That was...
because it was nearly the worst moment of his life. I mean, Wes...
It's right beforehand,
Yeah, he was through and then completely flubbed this chance. Yeah. And everyone was like, oh, no, that's it. And then 2 minutes later, he sets up the goal. Yeah,
did Martin O'Neill he said that on your live show the other week.
I think he might have referred to it, yeah.
And no one stood up for poor Wes. Yeah, he said he was about to kill him because he missed the chance. And he doesn't say anything about the 40-yard inch-perfect pass over the defence right onto Robbie Brady's head.
He finished that paid off his debt to Martin O'Neill.
Yeah.
He finished just level, not in credit. So
I always have to have one. It was like, because we had Hoolahan before that was the Andy Reid era. We always need to have some kind of mercurial, small, diminutive number 10.
Liam Brady.
See, that's someone who actually was at the highest level. We're kind of...
But he got, in terms of the manager going, there's no place for this guy in my team. This is what Charlton was saying, And Ferris Brady was a bit past his best, but he was still pretty good, compared to most of our players. But Charlton was like, no. And that's always been the way when all of our managers always end up turning on our most creative player. this guy is out of shape.
And it's like that's so is Socrates. It's but I suppose between Houlihan, Reid, I'm sure we're missing some as well. We had a couple of years where it was just the Paul Green era. We didn't really have anyone in there.
Paul Green.
Yeah. Fair play to him. Was it 28 caps?
Yeah, I remember him. Did he come on as a sub against Spain and Gdansk? You're just like, oh God.
Yeah. Did he go to... Oh, no, that wasn't 2012. Wait, did he go to 2012 and Seamus Coleman?
Yeah, it was 2012, yeah.
And Seamus Coleman didn't.
Yeah.
And that's what, that was...
Coleman was only 24
3 or 4. He was a young buck. He wasn't...
Yeah, so if you're only 23, then Trapattoni is like...
He's only played 2 seasons of Premier League football, whereas Paul Green here, he's played none, but he's 28. But I should have just finished up with saying that the Lord Mayor, Alfie Byrne, him,
Handshake and Byrne,
and Oscar Traynor, and Sean McEntee, the finance minister, all went down to the party afterwards with the Germans in the Gresham, which was adorned with swastikas for the. But also, was the Gresham where Hitler's brother worked?
Oh yeah.
Or was that the Shelburne?
The Shelburne, one of them.
Hitler's brother worked in the Gresham.
Oh that's
I didn't even know he had a brother.
Or the Shelburne.
Is it a half brother?
Okay.
Yeah. He worked in the. Yeah.
It's where the theory, and no one, it's probably not true.
It's definitely not true.
Definitely not
the
true.
Swastika
But, Swastika Laundry existed in Dublin.
Oh,
for a
yeah,
long time.
yeah.
And because they were also the laundry service that would have dealt with, the Gresham or the Shelburne, wherever he worked. He said that's where he got the idea. He called up Hitler. He's like, Hitler, it's your
cousin Alfie. I think his name was Albert. I met one of his, because he married an Irish woman. I met a descendant of his before.
Yeah.
She was,
Bertie Hitler.
Or
was it Schicklgruber?
No,
there was a name change in his family, right? I think the father changed his name from something a bit less multi-syllabic.
Oh, sure. But that's funny. Just if you wanted to distance yourself from the Hitlers and you change your name.
I think also people used to use this Schicklgruber as a kind of a term of disparagement a bit in the 30s. A bit like, there was that period when people would refer to Drumpf. Donald Trump, that. So it's kind of a similar.
How well that worked out. Enough late night show hosts said that, and we haven't heard from him since.
In neither incident did I'm going to call you by your real name.
Gotcha.
Thing work.
Yeah, I mean, if we've learned anything from the last couple of years, it's that sort of stuff has never worked. But he had a brother here and settled down, married I can't remember, I think he married a woman called like Bridie O'Sullivan, or just pure Irish stock. But so
the groundwork for Operation Green.
Yeah. Well, Oscar Traynor, I think Niall Quinn wrote a thesis on him.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
Niall Quinn wrote a thesis on Oscar Traynor.
I think Niall Quinn is like, I don't know, do you know, master's, maybe not a doctorate, but
he's a master's.
Big historian.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because he's 6'4", he's a
regular historian who's tall. But he's I don't know if there's any connection to Oscar Traynor personally.
But that's the end of our story. So we have another. How long do we have left?
That's about 40 minutes.
40 minutes. Okay. Well, we'll finish off by. I'll ask you, Ken. Why does this country like rugby so much?
I don't think the country does like rugby so much, but the people who control the country like rugby in disproportionate. Disproportionate amount. So that's
you had a good metaphor before we started this that I think, like rugby has just been it was the backup plan for the last while when we weren't so good at football, and now already you can see like what Ireland's been against South Africa, current kind of world champs.
Yeah,
no one really cared too much about that.
Rugby is an op. They control the finance. They control the media.
Yeah,
I mean, what I'm saying is basically actually true.
Sure.
So there's way more money in terms of all of the people who control the big marketing budgets in corporate Ireland.
Yeah,
generally went to rugby playing schools and got into that sort of whole social.
This
world.
Is rugby country.
Yeah, but I mean, rugby country is in fact it's a fee paying school thing. I know there are certain exceptions to that. There's obviously Limerick or whatever. And I'm sure it has.
I'm sure they're going to the fee paying schools in Limerick.
It's not like there's no fee paying schools in Limerick, but Limerick does have the reputation, at least, that like even non-fee-paying school people are interested in rugby and play some rugby. But, so we're talking about what, 8-9% of... Is the percentage that high even?
I don't know.
People who play or follow the game.
People who go to fee-paying schools.
Wow.
Is it that high?
I think it's around that. Yeah,
I would have thought it was less.
Maybe it is.
But
I'm talking off the top of my head here.
Yeah, you're taking from a very small percentage of people going to these schools that feed into.
But also, that's rugby is the kind of the world over. Like, don't they say Australia is the same? So it's a sport that basically is just private schools.
But it's meant to be like that.
Yeah,
that's the way they want it.
Yeah,
this is the thing I don't get. I just don't understand what they're doing playing games in Chicago and stuff. Grow the game. No, don't grow the game. The game's supposed to be exclusive. It's supposed to be. That's the whole point of it. This is a game that we play. We know that we're the best. The best people play this game. And suddenly, if everyone's playing it, then it's lost. Its
only thing that it has is elitism.
Yeah, well, I think it's a real thing. That I'm talking about here.
These are real strong thoughts. But I mean...
Because you tend to see it in America that like the rugby clubs over there, it's not a class-based like playing pool. It's a lot of guys who've played like NFL or any other contact sport, and then they can't do that because the systems aren't in place to play those games outside of colleges. Then they just move into rugby and do that instead. But it's guys who are listening to heavy metal music, art like tattoos, shaved heads. It's not
kind of a
here
team MMA type of
thing.
Like
for big boys.
Which I mean, it's obviously got that sort of appeal. Obviously, it is more of a test of strength, than most sports. Certainly than football, soccer.
It would have been bigger in Nazi Germany, perhaps.
Yeah, it could have been, but it's a bit English as well.
It is. Well, that's true.
It's true. A little bit English for their liking.
Yeah.
And it's never really caught on in Germany because football, which also is English to be fair, but maybe it was invented by them, but it's obviously a worldwide sport. I mean, I think the reason that Ireland is so into football as well, I don't know how into football Ireland really is compared to like lots of other European countries. It's not actually.
Do you reckon?
If you go to Spain or Portugal or Germany, it's just all football.
Yeah, most
the
people
Spanish
here don't
basketball.
Follow. Like, think of most of the people that how many of them are active football fans.
Yeah, the GAA here is massive. Like, rugby's pretty big.
The GAA is massive for, like, I suppose maybe at the like junior or club levels as a community thing. But then even like during the season, there's only a couple of games that are there. And those games are huge.
But it's big week to week, just the number of kids going to training GAA, all this kind of stuff. Like it is a major thing in the country. Whereas if you go to Germany, it's literally just football.
Just football.
And so they're into it. But the other thing that football has that rugby doesn't really offer Ireland and the GAA doesn't offer Ireland at all is the opportunity to like be on the international stage. And to compare ourselves with like other places and to be the center of attention.
Yeah, other places that we know.
This past 2 weeks has been phenomenal because of the amount of like the foreign language like radio stations where I've heard clips of people to say name like Troy Parrott and just talking about Ireland. It's fun to be in like the cyclists of the world. People are talking about us.
Let's have someone else. Let's find this in another language. Like
for sure,
people are paying attention to us.
Yeah, how does the goal sound in Hungarian?
Yeah, but it's all like on rugby, it's just the Anglosphere countries.
It's the same people every year.
But how many people have gotten into? How many teams have won the World Cup? It's like 8.
The rugby or
the football? Because I know the argument is that like there's only 8 or so competitive international rugby teams. But really, when you boil it down to it,
Uruguay, France, Spain, Italy, Germany. And it's England, so is that 8?
But even if you look at who's gotten into the teams that have made it into the quarterfinals of every World Cup, it is a small pool. And I get the idea that like, all right,
not quarterfinals.
Genuinely, you're like it's not. I know the big argument in football is like, there's 100 teams in the World Cup, but how many like are there really? And I know there's only like 8 or 9. Like if there was a bigger World Cup of rugby, you would end up still with the same. Or so at the top.
Yeah, but I think, say, it's got more of a... I mean, if you look at, say, the number of nationalities in the Premier League or something like that,
Yeah,
like
but then you've kind of... Like, Japan's upset in the Rugby World Cup a while ago. It's kind of...
Korea fairly got to the... South Korea fairly got to the semi-finals of the 2002 World Cup.
Yeah. There's certainly more... Yeah, there is probably more diversity in football in that even within the small diversity of rugby, it also does seem to be, like, a lot of... lads with New Zealand or Tonga heritage playing for Ireland or wherever.
Like, are there
Tonga
any,
for Japan?
Yeah, I mean, it's not. Are there any sort of North American players, for example, in like the leagues over here, the rugby leagues, or like playing in France or something? You know, I don't know. Maybe there's a couple of Georgians or something. I honestly don't even know.
Yeah.
But I don't get the impression that there's that sort of. In football, like, most countries aren't good enough to get anywhere close to even into the World Cup. I mean, look at us. But never mind the quarterfinals. But that doesn't mean that they don't. You know, they're not into it and don't produce players.
Yeah, that's true. But
just not 11 players.
Yeah.
It's also, I suppose that they say that in France, rugby's like the GAA to here. That it's like small town local community and everyone plays it. Maybe that's the case, but
I think it's kind of regionalised as well, right? It's more certain.
Well, it's also because the cities, if you're going to be in Marseille or any of the major cities, it's going to be soccer dominated. It would seem to be anyway. But it does feel that at least with the rugby gave us a thing collectively as a nation to all look at the TV at the same time and be happy. Yeah. Because like the GAA doesn't have it, because unless you're from the county in the All-Ireland final, you don't care. You'll watch the game. But
there's the kind of, aren't we great kind of element. But how are we to know that if it's only us saying it? That's why one of the kind of cringiest developments is the BBC showing it.
Sure.
And then people like retweeting posts or whatever from people going, oh my God, I'm watching the hurling on BBC Two. This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then you get all these Irish people going, oh, look, see, they think it's amazing. Yeah. You know, and then you're like, well, if they did, like, it would be played in more than
because
like 5 counties.
If they started playing it, then inevitably we'd lose to someone, and then the fun would be gone.
But it's not even played throughout Ireland. Like, you know, it's like,
that's true.
Isn't it just, it's kind of the rich, I mean, my friend Carol Murphy wrote a book about this just recently.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's basically the rich counties. Like anywhere where the people were rich enough to be able to afford like a piece of equipment,
like a stick of wood,
is a hurling county. And then if you couldn't afford that,
you're a Gaga county.
Yeah,
you're a football county.
So it's all the rich farmland, you know, Cork, Kilkenny, Tipperary, you know, where you've got like the Golden Vale and all this, and hurling, and everywhere else is football.
That's an interesting theory. Well, I've been guilty of that, what you're describing, of definitely in the summer times when I work I do some tour guiding during the day, showing people around. It is fun to wheel a load of tourists in and get them to watch a hurling game. And there is an element of like, look at this. It is mad to watch.
It's like that thing is it Calcio, whatever they call it, in like Florence or somewhere. You know, there's a sort of a primitive form of football-like game, which is just sort of men wrestling each other with to get a. There's something of that about it, I guess. But
but there is some. What is Croke Park the fourth biggest stadium in Europe?
It's pretty big,
by capacity. It's like in the top 5.
So it's smaller than Nou Camp and
Wembley,
and Allianz is 80 as well, is it?
I think it's definitely bigger than the Allianz Arena in terms of capacity. Wembley, I'm sure Wembley's like 90,000, I think.
Yeah. But I mean that
is probably up there now.
It's top 10 anyway.
But so on that side of it, that's crazy. Like, you've got in a continent obsessed with football. Like one of the biggest stadiums is for our own sport.
Yeah.
But then on the lower end of it, so say this is a good thing that rugby has, I guess. January is a miserable time of year. There's nothing happening. The Six Nations is a great way of getting people back into the pubs in like February. Like, they're just Saturday midday drinking, you go and you watch Ireland be pretty consistently decent at something, and that's good. And on that tail end of, because the GAA leagues will start in January, February, no one is watching those games. The ones that are televised, the amount of times I've gone into a pub and asked to watch, some GAA match, and then to have it turned off because there's a Wolverhampton, I don't know.
Well, that shouldn't happen.
But it happens all the time. And you're like, and no one's watching it. They don't put it on because there's people watching it. Like, that's just on in the background. Yeah. The game means nothing. No one cares.
I mean, I would be more interested in watching Wolves versus Brighton, say, than but I would never ask for it to be put on in a pub in Ireland.
Yeah. Well, the flip side of the kind of the county pride when you're showing tourists Croke Park packed and unbelievable, like, hurling fixtures, and like, this is us, this is class. I remember doing that in a pub in like January, February, and it was maybe Limerick, Cork or something, big hurling fixture, and I was It was the same day that France was playing Ireland in Dublin, because there's a lot of French people we were talking to, and I was like, "This is our sport here, hurling. We love hurling. It's Cork. This is a great game." And then it pans to the crowd, like 5 people there, like an empty stadium, because it's a top tier game, but it's not happening at the end of the season, so no one's watching it and no one's there. Well, so I don't know what my point is, but rugby is good at getting people, everyone in to watch the same thing.
At the Paddy Power
off-season.
Festival last year, I saw an English comedian go up into the green room, and they had the Lionesses were playing. They were against Spain. It was at the final, the semi-final, and he was just asked the barman, he's like, "Can we turn the TV over, because the Lionesses are playing? They're going to play in Spain. It's going to be great." And the barman is just wiping the glass. He's like, "Oh no, sorry, the Gaelic football's on." And I looked over, and they were doing the post-match speeches.
Yeah.
With the subtitles not on, sound off, no subtitles, under 21 football speeches. And he was like, "No, not putting on the English football."
And that's the way it should be. You know, it doesn't make sense, but I think that's fair. Yeah. But they should be televising more games, I guess, in general.
Yeah.
Who's the GAA?
The GAA, yeah.
They can try and no one will watch.
That's probably
They
the
tried
sad
it
truth.
for ages, and they were like, unless it's on RT, no one's paying 10
I think
quid
even
a
if
month
it is
for
on
whatever app that thing is.
No, not that, but just put them all for free. But yeah, realistically, people probably still aren't turning out.
No.
I've gotten big into listening to local radio when there's a match on. That's much better.
Yeah.
It's chaotic. People swear a lot more.
People care a lot more.
They're so passionate. I can't believe there's not a higher heart attack rate in local sports radio journalism.
I think that's the end of all the other bits. We did want to mention Damien Duff.
I know.
Yeah, or will we just talk about how he should be the manager of Ireland?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, who knows? I think he probably would be interested in it now in a way that he wasn't like last year when he was saying, we should be raised to the
Was
ground.
it with Dan McDonald? He did an interview the other
It's an
week
interview with
where he
Dan, yeah.
mentioned, and he was kind of like, "I've always said I wouldn't, but now
Yeah.
I don't know." It's like that's saying yes without
of course,
saying
of course, yeah.
But what is he saying that after the results?
No,
He's
He was saying
Before.
that before the results, he was close. He'd turned from saying, "Let's burn the FAI to the ground."
He apologized, of course, for that. He was like,
Well, I mean, in the heat of, did he walk away from, who was he managing? Shells, and because of that, he was like,
no, it wasn't.
apart.
It wasn't specifically because of that he left, but he did leave in like quite acrimonious circumstances at Shelburne. Having kind of, it was sort of the flogging the team a little bit. I think there seemed to be a breakdown of trust, where he was like, "You're little worms." I don't know if he used this word, but there was.
Let's just imagine he did.
He did. No, he did do an interview, I think, just before he maybe it was the same weekend that he kind of decided he was going to leave. But, it's my energy and they suck it.
Yeah.
And so when you're talking about them sucking your energy, he basically I've been challenging them to step up and it just never happens. It wasn't too good. Like it sort of got on top of him a bit and maybe things. So he obviously decided this isn't really working. But it wasn't as though the whole situation was completely irreparable, obviously, because his assistant then, Joey O'Brien, took over. And so it wasn't as though whatever had happened had kind of poisoned the whole setup, because obviously Joey, who'd been there the whole time.
And he's doing well now. Yeah, it's like they just took Duff out. Or he took himself out. And then the results improved.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's not a great CV to be walking into.
Well, I mean, to win the league with them was pretty good. I mean, because they were not really contenders even the season that they won the league. And when he took them over, they were really nowhere close to winning the league. So, okay, Sean McRoberts had a bit of an off season, had a down season. Let's say.
They still nearly won it anyway. That was because I'm a Duff fan, or whatever. But I'd also be looking at it thinking that he had a great run for about 3 or 4 months with Shells, and then they didn't win a game for about 2 months. At the very end, they just got over the line.
They were really kind of.
And we were like, that's the head of Irish football now.
Yeah.
That guy who didn't win a game for about 3 months.
Well,
he has Mourinho's phone number, so therefore he should be the manager of the nation.
Yeah. Well, look, I think people just like him because they sort of like his kind of, I don't want to say crazy, like he sort of he I mean, I remember when he was a player, and he was quite shy. Like in his demeanor, he wasn't like one of these kind of shouters, or he wasn't like an attention seeker in any kind. Like quite the opposite. You know what I mean? And he's quite modest and quite kind of humble and quiet. At least in terms of his public persona. And then as a manager, he suddenly kind of became this absolute like chest beating, like bearded lunatic. And people were kind of intrigued by this. And the way that he spoke,
That's how you get into the Irish, like the psyche of the Irish fan. That they don't want. And now we've won 2 games, so now all of a sudden that we do want a stoic manager who doesn't react to anything. But right before that, what we wanted was a blood and thunder man on the side of the pitch, screaming and shouting at people about how they're sucking into his energy.
Yeah, you're sucking my energy. No, that interview came out just before those games, and I think the general expectation at that point was, we're not going to get through these games with anything.
Yeah.
If we lose to Portugal, even if we draw Portugal, we're not going to win in Hungary. And then, of course, we beat them both and we get into the playoffs. So it's like completely transformed the situation from what anyone reasonably would have expected beforehand, including, I'm sure, Duff, when he agreed to do an interview, which he probably knew, would be coming out at that with that timing. It's suddenly, here's the Irish teams back in the kind of, media spotlight, let's say, and so's Damien Duff. There's a kind of, I'm still here.
Yeah.
You might be looking for a manager.
Well, you told me a great story from the Saipan episode about what match was it after? And he ended up in a karaoke bar.
Oh, it was after the...
in Seoul?
In Seoul, yeah.
Spain game.
But that's because we lost out. This was the one. It must have been maybe after the Saudi game.
Yeah.
But they went out on the piss, and it's him and Stephen Reid went down to a pub and started doing karaoke. Yeah. Well, it was a comedy club.
But thank God there was no mobile phones, I suppose, readily available then.
Everyone found out about that anyway, that they'd gone out after this Saudi
They're going
game.
out like after every game, by the sounds of it.
I was actually at the one after they got knocked out by Spain.
Oh yeah.
When they were obviously, it was gone. Like we're no longer saving ourselves for anything.
Getting locked and waking up in a bush with your shoes off. That was the stuff they were doing while they were still contending for the World Cup. So when they were out, I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's pressurized. It's pressurized.
Oh, it is. Yeah, and they're young men. They need a valve release.
A little bit of just a bit of downtime,
or
social time
in between some of the most important games of their lives.
I remember, the sort of players stealing cigarettes. Mark Kinsella, trying not to get caught.
It's the only time he ever checked over his shoulder.
Richard Dunn actually didn't care at all. He's just sitting there at the table. But Duff was there singing. They were all sort of singing. They were taking turns. But Alan Kelly actually tried to swap shirts with me, but I refused.
Why?
Because my T-shirt was much nicer than his. He had like an Ireland.
Sorry, that's
he had an Ireland training top, which I suppose was impregnated with his, champion sweat.
Yeah.
But I was like, I just picked up this nice T-shirt on my trips through Japan.
That could have been the goalie. He could have been wearing that from the spat with Keane.
Yeah,
the training, the famous guy.
No, I was like, no, you're all right.
You could have that framed in your house now, but
yeah.
I guess you just got.
But I don't know. Now, obviously, we might still lose the playoff, and then
I've had to explain that to a few people who are on the bandwagon now that we haven't actually qualified yet.
Yeah,
everyone's like, "Well, why are you celebrating? We won the World Cup.
We're
surely
celebrating
with these celebrations.
Celebrating life.
Yeah,
we're still alive.
Yeah. I've seen people they're celebrating the fact that when the draw is done, and when technically from now on, for at least a little while, anytime the World Cup is talked about and the group stage and the theories, we will be included in that.
Yes, we're in the qualification.
In theory, they have to mention that one of the spots could be Ireland.
We're like UEFA Path 4 or whatever.
Yeah. And that,
Path 3 or whatever. Path 3.
If they do shorten it to UEFA Path 4.
There'll be a video game made now and they'll have to include Ireland because they won't know.
Yes, exactly. We're technically in the running for the job.
But if that does happen, then I think Duff probably will then become the manager.
Do you reckon?
I think so, yeah. Because I don't think Hamer's going to hang around.
He's got Indonesia on the phone. Dental practices.
Indonesia is a sort of
about 2 years of people talking shit about him, and then 2 weeks of people being like, actually,
this guy's not
the greatest man in the history of the country.
Yeah, Indonesia is like, is it the 4th most populous country in the world? It's a mega country, which is just seemingly kind of getting into football in a big way.
Okay.
Obviously, there's vast amounts of cash there.
Yeah,
way more than here.
Sure.
So even though this is a bit more convenient for, going back to Iceland.
The dentist practice.
I still think he might be tempted by the challenge if there was something to that Indonesia thing. Although whether that will still be available at such time when maybe that ship has sailed now. But like the thing is that the Euro 2028 thing suddenly looks quite attractive. To manage Ireland for that.
I mean,
in front of fans here,
probably
now
given an automatic qualification spot.
Probably,
I think they will.
And you've got
some of the corruption will fall our favour this time, maybe.
Yeah, maybe Evan Ferguson's figured out how to like lose his marker by then. A couple of years down the line.
Yeah,
that's suddenly for any Irish coach, it's like, well, that could be really big,
I think Ted's telling us it's almost time to go. We're fit. It's about an hour.
he senses something here.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been great, Ted.
Yes.
Hasn't made a single noise.
Yeah, he spends a lot of time sitting in recording studios.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Look at him now, though. He's like, time to go. He hears us saying thanks to each other, and it's like his trigger word.
He's
stand by the door, so.
Yeah. What else do we want to talk about?
That everyone was the fact, he's found out who Seamus Coleman is now.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Irish people.
I'm now big into Seamus Coleman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coleman pilled.
Yeah.
No, he is an amazing. Well, he is the person.
He's got a great story.
In what sense?
I don't know, just being at that, like going through breaking a leg and coming back from an injury, and
coming from the League of Ireland, Sligo Rovers.
Yeah,
and he had the most patronising chant in English football.
Oh,
what was his chant?
The Everton fans singing 60 grand, Seamus Coleman.
Okay.
So they're celebrating that they were able to, like the Elgin Marbles or something, they just were able to steal this
We've got this
thing
guy
from
worth millions and millions, and we've given small Sligo 60,000.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Beautiful. Magic beans to Sligo. These West of Ireland citizens.
Let's get 15 years of service out of this guy.
Once again, we were too clever for them.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't have been
land
singing that if he hadn't turned out to be very good. But the main thing about Coleman is that I can't remember any player who has had so many compliments specifically about his personality.
Yeah.
Like Frank Lampard. When Frank Lampard was the Everton manager briefly, and they stayed up, he I don't know if it's fair to say saved them from relegation. Suppose he did. He was the manager and they didn't get relegated.
Sure.
It was a group endeavour.
Yeah.
But talking about Seamus Coleman, I'm not sure if he was even playing Coleman, but Lampard's thing was he's the greatest man I've ever met. He's just the best. He's just the best man. And you're like, well, I suppose it's nice. It's a bit, unusual.
Have you seen that video of Paul Rudd talking about his stag in Donegal?
No.
Well, you think it's on Conan. He has to go over there, and he's telling him, let's say it's Conan. He's like, it's a great place. Love going over to Ireland. It was in this tiny little town. We all were wearing the Irish soccer jerseys. Everyone had a number on the back of it. We were in some pub, and some man came up and sat down and gave out to Paul because he was wearing number 2.
Right.
And there's only one man in this town that wears number 2.
Really?
And it was his son. It was Seamus Coleman's dad. I was like, what are you doing?
Oh, okay. Right. Okay. I didn't realise that you couldn't wear the number. Like
I can't remember, but we were going to talk about the chip challenge.
Oh, the Harry Ramsdale,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe that's for another day.
It's probably another day. 95, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Owen did an interview with Jack Charlton about Owen McDevitt did an interview with Jack Charlton about that.
Oh, yeah.
Which was brilliant. I don't know if you've ever heard it, but
I have it.
It's
The
got
audio
some
bed's
of the
great.
best audio. Jack Charlton expressing indignation that anyone would like have a problem with eating fish and chips.
You can't blame losing a game on fish and chips until you find out that it's like £5 worth of fish and chips.
Well, Owen sort of suggests. Well, there was a suggestion. There was a sort of an all-you-can-eat element, apologetically, and Jack's like, oh.
Yeah, but it's a free buffet. Wasn't the
There was no dessert. There was no starters.
Nobody had a steak to start. Nobody had any pudding to finish with.
Didn't he have a steak in the restaurant, or like was it his?
That was the rumor that he'd been given a percentage in the place, and that's why he was there to open up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Football was better than
it was. It really was.
Yeah.
But that's all we have time for today, I think.
But so cheers, Ken. Thanks for coming in.
Not at all. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it.
Fair play to Ted, who's been here the whole time.
Yeah. There he is.
There you go.
There we go. Beautiful. That's his sign off.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck.